Today is a special A&R room because this is kind of a reunion, ladies and gentlemen. This is a reunion. When I first came to New York and I was working with some other artists back then, it was a young artist on the rise that I really wanted to get to know, and I know he had just established his freedom at that point, got caught up in the system and learned a lot when he was down, but he's been awake ever since. And we started collaborating, and he started working with some producers that I aligned him up with, and we became friends. We became brothers, and I just became a fan of his movement, so much so that I even became an executive producer along with my buddy Rich Nice on one of his projects. Greatest story never told. And this man with the Abandoned Nation has been growing constantly. He's been in the cut with Squid Ink for a while, and he got the digital media company CPXI that he's been working with, that he was working with for a while, that he actually introduced me to. But he got into, it's interesting that he's gotten into a lane of independence, total autonomy early on. And so when you hear these stories of some of the biggest artists in the world, like a Kanye, speaking about contracts, record deals, and all of these different things that you wouldn't even imagine someone of his magnitude going through, it's a lot of people that have been singing that same tune for years, and this is one of them. I want to welcome him to the show. Congratulations on the new EP. The one and only Saigon is here. Give it up for Saigon.
Man.
Saigon.
Man, my brother. Man, my brothers. Oh, man. What's good, Sway?
Giddy, what up with you? How you been?
Man, I feel good, man. Under these conditions and the times we live in, man, it's good to be alive. It's good to be healthy. It's good to see my friends smiling and hearing y'all on the radio, man. It just feels great, man. God is great, man. God is amazing.
Hey, man, I want to clip all beefs right now, man. We're gonna settle this right now on the air.
Yeah.
Now I know that you know, because Saigon got his history. You got a history, man. So I want to settle this right now on the air. You been reaching out to Rich Nice, Saigon?
Yeah, man. I've been Rich Nice, man. Rich owed me about 800 return phone calls. You know, he'll shoot a text every now and then and be like, "Yo, give me a couple minutes, bro." And I've been waiting a couple weeks, couple months. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I love social media, man, because I check up on him, make sure he's all right. As long as he's all right, I see him posting and he's okay. I know he's well. That puts me a little bit at ease, but I need to talk to my brother, man, especially before I put out this record, because I want to play it for him to get the A&R room stamp of approval, and I ain't that stamp. So, Rich, you owe me one on the next one, bro. You owe me one, Rich.
Listen,
Nice.
This is what I did. Listen. Yeah, that's all the quarters and the change. I'm gonna call you from a payphone. I got a lot of change. I owe you a bunch of phone calls. I'm gonna get on the payphone to call you. Old school style.
Good. I hope you got a couple of rolls of quarters, man, because I got a lot of questions, man. I always seek to you guys, you, Sway, Kelly, man, for advice in this business, man. You guys, like Sway was saying earlier, man, without y'all, Greatest Story Never Told, which was my baby. That was my album of all that I worked so hard all my life to put out. And, I went through the label bullshit. And y'all, without y'all, that album would have never seen the light of day, man. So, I love y'all for that. Even though it goes way more deeper than music with us, that's one thing that I really, 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 for the rest of my life, man, I'll be appreciative of, because, man, that album was on ice for 7 years before we put it out.
And then we put it out.
Here's a fun fact about that project. Sony Red had not. Fun fact: Sony Red had not had a project on radio, on hip hop radio, since Wu-Tang. So when Greatest Story came, the main guy there came to me and said thank you, because we haven't been on hip hop radio since Wu-Tang. So
yeah, man, we did good, man. I think they owe us some money, man, over there. They got it, because I haven't got a nickel, and we sold about almost 90,000 of them things, bro.
I don't think you should talk about money right now, Saigon, because we didn't
get a nickel
either.
Because it's funny what you said. What Kanye's talking about is real, because they put you on these even a lot of the indie labels that they do the same bullshit that the majors do. They just do it on a smaller level. But it's all trickery and fuckery, and they tell you, oh, you spent all of this. They know it costs so much to audit them, and they won't give you no itemized list of what they spent. So they just keep telling you, oh, yeah, we spent, and you don't see the shit they spent. So you say, where'd y'all spend it, and why'd y'all spend it? Because I didn't ask y'all to spend that money on certain places. And that's the way that's what they do to keep artists in the red, is they keep, telling you, yo, you got to bill. They don't show you this shit itemized, and they know the only way you can really do it is through the system and sue them and legally audit them. And a lot of the artists who's independent don't have the resources to do that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
So you saying that independent?
That's the old school mind fuckery.
That's the fuckery, right? The independent artists. So you saying being on an independent label could be the same thing as being on a major label? Then you could get
it could. And that's why. And you gotta be 100% independent nowadays. You gotta really know. You gotta own your masters. You gotta own your music, own your catalog, and what you do is just find a creative way to market yourself, because you got social media, you got this whole internet, and you could get 100,000 fans on your own. And if you got 100,000 diehard fans that support you, you can make a living off music the rest of your life. And then you just gotta keep being creative and keep stay in tune and get your music to the fans. You don't need the middleman. Them days is over, man. Like Jay said, overcharging niggas for what they did to the Cold Crush, that shit right there, that line makes more sense now than it did when he said it. Because they've been rating that before Cold Crush, like the soul artists, from Aretha Franklin to going back to Little Richard, they've been raping artists in these contracts. That's the music business.
What do you think of, and I'm just thinking out loud because Saigon, we all been in the music business. You, Heather, Rich, myself, Tracy, we've been in the music business for a long time and watched as careers grew from scratch. A lot of money, millions and millions of dollars have been made. And the let's just call the record labels, what do you want to call them? The culprits, if you will, befriending a lot of big artists who kind of turned the other cheek. Like, we all know that the way these dynamics work with record companies and artists is not in the artist's favor. That's the business. It's the music business. But what do you think about, like, it's a lot of artists who've achieved a whole lot that it didn't seem to bother them? Like we're hearing a lot of people tell the song or sing the song that's been sang for a long time. In other words, a lot of us.
I think a lot of people get complacent, and a lot of people, like, they feel like even though you owe me a 100, if you give me 30, I'm good with that. And some people have that mentality. Like, if you make a guy who come from nothing, you make him a millionaire. They're not going to – it's almost like NBA. Look at the NBA, right? Of course you can give me a $30 million contract if I'm generating $300 million a year. You know what I'm saying? If I generate $300 million and it's all the strength of me, my likeness, my face, I'm LeBron James, I generate $300 million a year. To give me $30 million, 10%, that's not a good deal. So we gotta know our worth. You got to know your worth. Because a lot of artists, they go, oh, I'm good with the label. I'm a millionaire. I'm rich. I got, but you should be wealthy because you generated a lot of money. So you got a couple million, you're rich, but you're not wealthy. You're making somebody else wealthy with your likeness, your voice, your face, all of that. So we don't even – so, of course, you got artists that's not going to stand up against it. Look, Kanye's standing up against it now. He's worth $1 billion. Now he can talk that shit because you got all these other revenue streams, and you don't need that. You don't need a record company ever again in your life. So now you can talk shit. We should have been talking this shit on a College Dropout, my guy.
Let's play devil's advocate for 1 second. And what about the labels that take all the risk, that put up all the money, and then the artists that don't sell and they lose a lot of money? What's that kind of?
Oh yeah, that's why we have tax write-offs. They become a tax write-off. They become, oh, you losing business too, and hey, we tried it, it didn't work. Write his ass off. So that's what they do. But you're right, but they don't invest. And they don't really invest in something until it starts going on its own. What they do is they pussyfoot. They did that with me for years. Like, okay, Saigon, okay, we'll give you a living stipend. We'll pay your rent. And I was on a #1 TV show in the world. I was on Entourage at the time.
Entourage,
this show was the #1 show in the world at the time. Yeah. And I'm like, we got this beautiful album. But because so they'll go, oh damn, we'll give you a $5,000 video. But if they would have that $5,000 video would have turned into all over number one on TRL at the time. It was TRL. If I would have went to number 2 or 3, then they would have opened the bag. I mean, it's business, so you don't understand. You spend to make money, but at the same time, if my initial contract is bad, before either one of us made a dime, you set me up to fail anyway. Because you put me in a shitty contract. So whether I do good or bad, I'm still in this shitty contract.
So let me ask you this. Saigon is here, 888-742-3345. The new EP is 777, The Resurrection. What's different for you in 2020 now and how you're releasing your music compared to when you was with the major?
Oh, man. I got 2 names, Tech Nine and Travis O'Gwen, man. Travis O'Gwen and Tech Nine. Strange music. Yeah. They're a different kind of animal. It's a different kind of animal. And they've been fighting for independent. They've been doing it right on an independent level for so many years, and I don't think they get the credit they deserve for what they do because they're truly independent. They're truly. It's not like, oh, we're gonna say we're independent, but meanwhile, Sony's in the background like, shh, go fake, be independent. Those guys are truly independent, and Tech. I've been watching Tech for the past 15, 16 years, and he's worked his way to where he's at. And when I speak to these guys, and they're all about empowering the artists and making sure. Travis makes sure that I own everything that I do. From my merch ideas to my trademark. And he teaches me so much about true independence, even before we signed papers, that I knew he meant well because he didn't have to share all of that information with me. He shared this information prior to us even doing the deal. You know what I'm saying? And these guys make millions and millions and millions of dollars every year independently. Like, if you go to Kansas City and see this, how Strange Music, they got Strange World out there where, these guys do it on a level that's even actually better than what how the majors do. And because they're meticulous, they're on point, and they're artists, they empower their artists. And that's why, they do so well. So when I had the opportunity to do a distribution deal, I'm not signed to Strange Music. I did a distribution deal through It Goes Up, which is their new company, but I get the services of the label. I get the same services that a Strange Music artist would get without still being able to maintain my ownership. And I was able to do that because of my name and my history in the game and Sway and my relationship with you guys. And so not any artist will get the deal that I got, but for them to give me that deal at this stage of my career, 19 years in this game, is it was unbelievable. And it was unreal, and I salute those guys.
Salute to them. Round of applause for Travis, Tech Nine over there at Strange Music. I've had the blessing of managing both of you all, Tech Nine and you, Saigon. Ain't that something?
Yeah, man.
Look at
man.
Tie.
We talk about you all the time, Sway. Sway, man, you're one of the most beloved people in this music business, and that lets me know I'm a good judge of character because I seen that the day we met. I was like, because you meet a lot of creepy people in this business, and the fact that you're so beloved and everybody I speak to you about has the same level of respect, and for you, that lets me know that not to be toot my own horn, but it lets me know that I made a right decision by asking for your help early on and asking for your help with Greatest Story Never Told and everything you've done for me over the years, man. Like I could sit here and talk for an hour for all the shit you did, for me. Rich, Kelly, all of y'all, like, yeah. Without y'all, this who knows, man. I'll probably be back in that fucking can, man.
Nah, we wasn't gonna let that happen. Definitely not taking collect calls. My man Saigon is here. I ain't going through that. Well, I think this is your story. I'm gonna keep talking to you before I get into the music. I'm curious because when I look on your social media, people will ask, "Where's Saigon? Where's his music?" For a long time, what we saw mostly is you and your kids. And I know the story of your dynamic with just being in your kids' life. Where are you today with the kids? How are they doing? I haven't seen the kids.
Kids
man.
are awesome,
I need to
man.
see.
My kids are oh man. I couldn't ask for better children. You know, I mean, the dynamic, you guys know because you guys were there. Y'all were there when Milan was born and when Little B was born, and even Rain, like, who's born and raised in California. And my relationship with my children is so amazing that, you know, I feel so blessed, even though, you know, the co-parenting situation has been rocky. Like, it's been on TV with Love and Hip Hop. That was a horrible, horrible situation. I put this young lady on TV without even knowing her, just because we had a child, and I had a child with a woman I didn't know, and it was like kind of weird because it was like, geez, man, that I made a horrible mistake. My kid can grow up and see this one day. So now that he's of age where he can understand, I got to sit down and speak to him about this and let him know, you know, people make mistakes in life, you know, and it's not about, you know, pondering on a mistake. It's about fixing it and never doing it again and not repeating your mistake. So I get a chance to, now that they're 9 and 11, I get a chance to really build with them and speak with them and talk to them. They all got their own cell phones, so the baby mama drama is limited. I don't got to go through the mother to get to the child anymore. Now I could get directly to the child, and there's no more parenting issue. The visiting stuff is over. So because they're old enough and they know I've been there since day one, fighting to be in their lives. I fought and fought and fought and fought because in the beginning it was rocky, and I learned a lot from you, Sway, by watching you at Kiyomi over the years, and how having a baby in California and you being here, how you managed that. I remember us hanging out and you'd be like, yo, I got to take a flight to California like a cab. Like, Sway would go to the airport like he was taking a cab. I got to go see Kiyomi. I got to go see Kiyomi. I'll be back in 2 days. I'm like, man, this guy just flies over there for his baby, and to see his baby, to keep that relation, or she would fly here. So I recreated that dynamic with Rain. Rain has been flying to New York since she's 6 years old by herself.
Oh, wow. That's
6,
dope. Yo.
You know?
How old is she now, Sai?
She'll be 12 next month.
Wow.
Damn, Rain is 12. Wow.
Yeah, Rain is 12, man. Rain, oh, man.
How old is
She
Milan?
just got braces. She just got braces, man. I'm like, whoa. It's real. This is real.
Yeah, you got about 2-3 more years before she starts checking the shit out of you.
Oh, no, she already does that, man. She asked me the other day how I felt about the LGBTQ community, whatever. I was like, Ray, I was like, where is this coming from? She's talking about, do I think white people should be able to say the N-word? Like, she's asking these hard questions for an 11-year-old. I'm like,
what are some of your answers to those? Si, I got to hear this.
You know what I be telling her? I say, look, this is not the conversation I'm ready to have right now, especially because I don't want to I'm a strong-minded person. I feel strongly about a lot of things, especially in politics. And when you talk in politics or religion with people, it could get murky. You know, those are two things I don't really like to talk with people, politics and religion, because people are strongly about them points. And I don't think she's ready to understand how I feel about, because I'm very strong-minded in certain things. So I'm going to let her develop her own little ideology of what things are before I come in and try to, sway her, no pun intended, sway her to how I feel she should go. I'm going to let her develop her own ideology first, and then we could sit and reason it out. But she's 11. I'm like, focus on school, focus on math and division. You better be talking about some math problems, and you better get your basics down before you jump into all of this adult stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yep.
My man Saigon is here. I'm going to open up the phone lines, 888-742-3345, while we get acquainted with our brother. This project seems very timely when I listen to all the music, when I listen to Spooky, or I listen to Bullets 19, or I listen to Pain in My Life Part 2. What was it, when you look out at the times through the music business lens, when you see how everything's changed and you're starting to see all the new outlets, whether it's SoundCloud or podcast, and even the new conversation around hip hop, what are your thoughts when you hear all these headlines, people in jail or divorce, or people getting their own business? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like, man, we still got this. We're still in this haze in a little bit, because we still don't understand the power of this beautiful culture we got. Like, we still haven't grasped the influence that hip-hop has. And it's funny because the powers that be, that, you know, the big brother, big bro, he gets it. So, you know, you can watch a MasterCard commercial and see the logo turn into turntables. You can see the Kool-Aid man break through the wall and start doing a backspin and spinning on his head. And they understand the power, the marketing power of hip-hop. But we, the owners and not the owners, but the creators of it, which we should be the owners of it, we still don't seem to get it. We don't understand how influential this music is. So when we promoting gangbanging and promoting things of that nature and letting that shit rock, we got to understand, we are influencing a lot of these kids to join gangs. We are influencing a lot of these young women to be promiscuous and think that it's all about how big your butt is or how big your titties are. Like, hip-hop is influencing a lot of that. And there's really no gatekeepers. I feel like we need some gatekeepers. We all look at go, oh, Kool Herc, and once a year we celebrate these guys and go, thank you for creating this culture. All right, let's catch you next year. Nah, man, that shit should be dead. Like, we need gatekeepers, and I think, Sway, you could be one of them. You put in enough work for you to be one of the gatekeepers of this culture, and people just go, look, we're going to yay or nay this shit. Is this shit acceptable? No. We say this music is marketed to children, right? We say, oh, hip-hop is is a youth thing. If it's a youth thing, what are you supposed to tell the youth? You're supposed to give the youth the tools that they're going to need to become strong adults. So shaking your ass and shaking your titties and bang, bang and gang, gang, all that shit, we sending these kids in the wrong direction. So when I look at the scope of the hip-hop, I'm like, come on, man. We have to understand and take back understand the influence of this shit, because it was influential to me. I went to prison and I was shooting up shit as a young wild because that gangster rap shit was influential to me. It was so influential to me. I would, that music would hype me up to go do something stupid. I'd be in the car ready to go do a shootout, listening to the gangster shit, and that shit would hype me up.
Let me ask you this then. You mentioned the youth. This culture is, spearheaded by the youth for the youth. But you have a song called Lil B.I.G.
Yeah.
On your album, and on it you're getting at a lot of people whose names start with Lil.
Yeah.
They're the youth.
I did it on warning shot. You know why I did that? I did it on warning shots. I did it as a freestyle on warning shots, like my first mixtape. And I just did it on the radio with K. Slay up at the K. Slay show, and I got such a big response. But since then, that was 18 years ago. There's a gazillion more little guys, because everybody puts little on the front of their shit. So I said, let me turn this into a song. But I did Little Big. So back when we was coming up, everybody wanted to be big something. You could be 4'3" and be calling yourself Big Tony. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be big. You know what I'm saying? So I just did just being creative writing. I just did little. I said, let me do all the littles and do all the bigs and make a Little B.I.G. make a song. And that's more of a playful. That song is more playful, play on words.
Well, but not a knock on those artists.
Nah. Some of those little guys are pretty damn good, but some of them are trash. That's with any that's any name. Some guys are good, some guys aren't so good.
All right, Saigon is here. I want to play this song "Pain in My Life" with Marsha Ambrosius on it, and I feel like listening to your project, I feel like you had a calling, like somebody put the bat signal out and said, "Man, come on, stop playing."
Yeah.
They need to hear your
George Floyd is a distant cousin of mine.
I did not know that. Really?
Yeah, he's a distant cousin. All my family went down to. He had two funerals. He had one in North Carolina and one in Houston, because so his father's side of the family is originally from North Carolina. A lot of them are from North Carolina and Texas, and he moved to Alabama, whatever. But so Sharon, my cousin Andrew, they all went to the funeral. Like Randall, I didn't know. I found out through Facebook, because the name Floyd, I knew I was related to the Floyds, but this happened way in the Midwest, so you're not thinking. I never put two and two together when it first started coming on the news, until I started going on Facebook and start seeing my family saying, "Yo, rest in peace, cuz." Like, damn, cuz, I just was talking to you, cuz. And I was like, oh, shit. So I never met him, got a chance to meet him, but like the family that he has here in New York and in North Carolina, my family, which is from North Carolina, you know, they all went to the funeral. They all, you know, so I was like, oh shit. So it hit me anyway when I seen those images of what happened to him, but it kind of hit me a little harder when I figured out that this was a distant relative. So when I made that Pain in My Life 2 song, I was just sad. And I was really sad. And I called Marsha. I always call Marsha when I was like, Marsha, I need a sad song. Marsha, I want to do a song and I'm sad. And she just knows how to evoke emotion with her voice. And she's one of my favorite singers in the world because of what she can do with her voice. And, you know, Street Runner, who produced the whole project, man, I had a different song. And he was like, yo, Si, this ain't it, man. I don't feel the pain. I don't feel you crying on this one. And I was like, so let's scrap it and do it over, you know, because I wanted to make a song about everything that was going on, everything that's still going on with Breonna Taylor and just this never-ending story of police brutality and the things that happen in our community. I wanted to, you know, make a song about it because I had been away from music for so long. And I know my fans, they look for me for that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. You're right. That bad signal went up, and I said, you know what? It's time, man. And it was the timing was perfect because that's when I started to talk to Trav and Tech Nine. So I was like, yo, let me. If you guys can help me, man, I would like to, you know, put my voice back out there and get back out there. And they just was like, well, let's do it.
And here it is, Pain in My Life Part 2 off the 777, the Resurrection EP out now. You want to talk with Saigon? Call us.
We ain't having this no more.
Saigon, say his name. Say his name. Say his name. You getting applause from me right there on that one, brother. What rhymes with...
Thank you, man.
Yeah. What rhymes with gang, gang?
Bang, bang. And that's why, you know, when these kids like all of these artists that we lose in gang violence and they all affiliated with gangs, it's like, man, how many times do we got to see it to understand that there's a correlation with the two? Right. You know what I'm saying? There's a correlation that the most of these artists that get killed are happen to be in gangs, and it's like when we was growing up, rappers didn't get shot like this or at this pace. You know what I'm saying? Because the gang thing was new. It was you know, it was brand new, and it wasn't so, you know, prevalent in the music business. So now we looking for a rapper that gets shot, especially if he's gang affiliated. It's like, oh, another rapper out of Chicago got killed. Another rapper. Another one. And so to the point we desensitized to it, and it's almost became normal to us.
You talk about Chicago. We got Ellis on the line from the Chi right now. Grand Risings, Ellis.
Hi, Ellis.
Are you there, Ellis?
Grand Rising. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Say what up to Saigon. Yes.
What's up, bro?
You hear his song? Right, what do you think of his song?
Song's great. New favorite.
Okay, there you go.
So
thank you, man. Thank you.
I was actually thinking of waking up really early in the morning today and calling Sway in the morning because of the really quick comment you made about the question your daughter had regarding LGBTQ. So this past weekend, my daughter, who's about the same age, Sway, I got to say first, man, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that conversation you had a few months ago about the period party. I won big on that one.
You won big on that one?
I won big on that one, Sway. Man, I didn't know what, you know, I asked all the wives and all the women in my life about that. They didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
I said, all right, I got one up on all of y'all then. So I went to the store. I got all this stuff, you know, in red that I could get, and some sweets and some candies and some this and some of that in a big red bag. And I dropped it off, and I won big.
You won big. That's what's up. You got me.
This past weekend when she asked me that question, like my man here, I got pretty strong feelings, and I did not hesitate to have that conversation. And it kind of maybe went the wrong way. So it started off with some comments about, or questions about, non-binary.
Hold up. Non-binary. You were having that conversation with the 11-year-old. Wow.
We started it. Yeah, we did. She asked me, you know what I'm saying? And she must want to know for a reason. So that's why I wanted to tell my man, don't wait too long. Don't let her develop her ideas because she's lost. And she's asking questions for a reason because there's not a lot of information about it. This is straight up what my 11-year-old daughter told me. We were having dinner night before last. So I was able to break the ice at least with the conversation that I did screw up with, and she kicked me out of her room in tears, told me just get out, and I did. And the next day I went back in there, and I apologized, and we started the conversation all over again, and it was great, And so we had dinner I think last night or the night before. I'm a single dad, so I get her every other day or something like that. So we spent a lot of time together. So we're having dinner, and she starts telling me about how, that's it. She's already in there now at this point. So she's like, this homophobic teacher, that homophobic teacher, it's hard for me to find, information about, she said that they should teach sex ed at a younger age because kids are really lost and they don't know where to go for information. And she's just going all over the place. Like
she just got open with you, but she got comfortable with you, Ellis.
She had an answer for everything. Like that girl did her homework. And so if you guys on that same sort of boat, man, I'm gonna tell you, you need to get up on your homework a little sooner. That's all.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna learn so much from your daughter. She's gonna be your best educator. I guarantee you that.
She already is, man. She puts me in check all the time.
There it is, Ellis. You're a citizen, man. Make sure you get the Project 777, the Resurrection. You see what you're triggering right now? You see what you're doing, Cy Giddy?
Yeah, man. You got to evoke emotion, man. I'm power to have more power to Ellis. I'm not ready to have that conversation with my daughter. I'm not ready. I don't want to talk nothing sexual with my daughter as of right now. Anything that pertains to sexuality, anything sex, I'll give her. Let's go 13. 13, we can start.
But I love the project. My favorite song on the project is Promise Ring.
By the way, this is Corey. This is Corey in North Carolina. Go ahead, Corey. Talk about that.
Hold up for Corey.
Hey, Corey.
Hey. Good morning. How is everybody?
We good, Corey. What's up?
Hey, real quick, want to say,
Promise
Sway,
Ring.
hey, great job, man. Love you. Heather B,
Thank you,
love
bro.
you. Tracy, love you. Oh, yeah, love your show. Positive Black Man, we need that.
Got you.
Listen to the show every morning, every time I get a chance. All right, Saigon, real quick, you had mentioned about artists going independent. Now, I got a cousin who's in New York. He makes beats. Did a lot of music for Jay-Z, 50 Cent, everybody. He's doing good. Coming up. Now, like not too long ago, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, with the contract deal, he tried to get out of the contract, got all jammed up, and now it's like he's garbage. Nobody even wants to look at him. You know what I mean? But this is the same guy that did the beat, Dead Presidents, Sprung. You know what I mean? What is it? Shit. Damn.
So what's
original flavor.
What's your question for Saigon?
I guess the question is, man, it just I guess as far as artists going independent. I guess, is there like a roadmap for artists to go independent? You know what I mean? Because that's like,
study, man. Study, learn, read. Don't be afraid.
Without a label.
Read.
So go ahead.
The information is there. Inform yourself, man. The internet is your friend. You gotta. All the information is there. The problem with us, we don't like to read. We gotta go read. We gotta start reading and combing through. And I don't mean those contracts where you're not going to understand nothing in those legal terms, but it's right there. It's there in layman terms where you can read and understand what you need to do to maintain your ownership. Most people don't even know what masters are. They don't know what a royalty rate is. They hear they repeat these words and they have no idea. A mechanical royalty, publishing. They don't even understand what publishing is because they don't read. You got to read and inform yourself because knowledge is power. And when you get the power, then you step out in the battlefield ready for war. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Hey, there you go, Corey. It's all within the realm of you. You can your cousin can figure it out, okay? Let them know. Hey, matter of fact, have them listen back to what Saigon just said, and you're a citizen. All right?
Okay. All right.
My man. All right, good, man. Listen, Giddy, we're going to have to do a part 2, but I know Rich Nice had a question. I thought Rich might have left the conversation, man. Rich, you still there?
Come on, man.
It's harder to get him on the phone. I'm surprised he's still on this phone.
Oh, come on, man. Listen.
Being that Rich said that, and I heard what Rich said, and I agree with you, Rich. That's my favorite song on the album.
That's my favorite song.
And if we could leave with that song, I'd be happy.
We're gonna play Promise Ring. You talking about Promise Ring?
My question is this: if we know that these things start at home, like how you were saying, the people these kids that's running into these gangs, it's like I think the parents now have to, because now we're the parents. Before we was the kids running around in hip hop. Now we're the parents, and we're the ones producing the Love and Hip Hops, and we're the ones producing all these shows. There's a certain level of do you think there's a certain level of responsibility that we have, like in this Promise Ring, to kind of promise ring our kids every day?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, and yes again. And that's our sole responsibility. That's what we're here for, pretty much. We have more responsibility to them than we have to ourselves, because we brought them here. Kids don't ask to be born, Because we bring these kids into the world. So it's our responsibility to guide them and lead them and to give them the tools that they're going to need to face this cruel, cold, fucked up world we live in. It's up to us. You know what I'm saying? And we a lot of us come from broken homes, and I think the problem stems with that. So men, us as black men, we got to step up. That's one reason why, regardless of all the headaches I went through with these women, I was like, y'all are not going to push me out of these kids' lives. I'm not going to allow it. You just can't. I don't care what you do. Keep bringing me to court. I don't care. Child support, I'll pay it. Whatever. All of this. From order protection to all of that. I was getting supervised visits at one point with my daughter, to where I had to go visit her and be supervised, and it was because my baby mother thought she could break me and take me out of this kid's life. I was like, "You're not doing it. I'm here for the kid. I'm not here for you. So my kid ain't doing this. It's you doing it. So I'm here for the kid." And that's the reason why. And the kid is Milan, who all of y'all know. Y'all watched Milan Born, because we was together every day when I was going through all of that. Rich, you remember the headache I used to go through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, damn, son. Good luck with that, son. So, and what they were doing was they I don't know where they get this misinformation from, but they were trying to break me, and they couldn't break me. And I was like, regardless of what, I'm here for the child. And there was been times where I felt defeated, and I was like, you know what? I could just go be a deadbeat and just be like the rest of these mothers. I got friends who live up the street from their daughter, and they don't go see their daughter. But I'm doing this Sway. I'm jumping on an airplane. I'm going 3,000 miles to see my daughter. And I don't care how you feel about me. Like, I'm coming to see my child because I'm here for the child.
Saigon, ladies and gentlemen, and let's just say for the record too, Gideon, I don't mean no disrespect in this. But those daughters that had your kids, you probably was a handful for them too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I was far from a saint. Right. I was far from a saint. But the thing is like we should have did it. I should have did it the other way. I worked backwards. I got the girl pregnant, then try to get to know him. You're supposed to get to know the girl first, and then procreate.
Yes, usually works better that way.
I had a little dyslexia on how I was going about shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's all right, man.
It's like, we're having a baby. Let's go get to know each other, and then that didn't work out that way.
I'm dead.
You know,
Cautionary tale.
I know, right? But when the kids see the parents in harmony, the kid's life is in harmony. I'm not saying fake love or fake anything.
That's
just when your kids see you cordial to their mother, it warms their heart. You know what I mean? Even
100%. 100%.
Yeah, so,
and my son, me and Erica had a bad, tumultuous. It played out. We went on Ayanla Fix My Life, bro. I was on Ayanla Fix My Life. I done talked to life coaches. I did and me, Sway, I would have never done, if it wasn't for me getting into a better space, because she was reading all Ayanla's books. She wrote Ayanla. I didn't reach out to Ayanla like my son's mother did. So I agreed to do the show if it was going to put us in a better place. I'm like, if this is what it takes for us to get in a better place, I'll do it, because this is something I would have denied or no thank you. So I did it, and things, after that, it still wasn't working out. But, recently my son just had his 9th birthday. I went over there, and we threw the party together, and we,
oh, that's good.
We even took pictures with our kid together, and our son is looking at us like, this is strange, but you know what? Moving forward, and I said, Eric, you see how that little bit made him feel he enjoyed his birthday on another level because both his parents were there. Even though me and her we don't get along, but you know what? Sometimes you got to, especially as a man, you got to swallow your pride. And my mom, God bless her soul, used to say, the number one killer of black men, it ain't guns, it ain't liquor, it's foolish pride, man. It's foolish pride. And when you got foolish pride, man, you do shit and you end up hurting yourself and hurting. The collateral damage from foolish pride is not worth it. Because all you got to do is sometimes say, you know what, I'm going to take the high road and, I forget my ego. Let me check my ego at the door and come in here and do what's right for the whole situation.
This is Saigon, ladies and gentlemen. I love it, man. I see we're going to have some more conversations.
Facts,
give them a round of applause, man. The new EP is 777, The Resurrection. I'll ask you about that Middle Finger song off air. You said a few names in there. We ain't got to go over that.
Yo, could we leave with Promise Ring, being that we talk about daughters and
we about to end with Promise Ring. I'll ask you off air about the Middle Finger song.
I'll happily explain.
Okay. I just hit Street Runner, told him congratulations on the project. You guys, let's support Saigon. I like what you're about right now, brother. At 777, The Resurrection. Good to hear your voice. I told you we'll make it happen, right?
Likewise. Thank you, King. Man, I can't thank you. You know what's way? I was going through archives, and I found that first interview you get. Y'all, man, I look like a baby-faced kid, man. I found that first interview we did. Remember the light was bad, and we tried to do it in the car? He was like, the light that we did it. I found that this must have been 20 years ago, and I found it. And I was like, I got to send Sway. Sway's going to bug out when he sees this. And you know what? You got the same sense of humor.
Oh, really?
Sway always goes in a joke, bro. Sway's always a joke. I'm like, this guy didn't change one bit, man. Because I'm watching this shit. It's just so funny to see. Because I'm like,
hey, you got to shoot that to me. Hey, Saigon, I love 100%. You, man.
Well, it's going to bug you out, man.
I can't wait to see it. You got a lot of people that are hitting you right now on our phone lines. Listen, Milo in Ohio, David in Oakland, Maryland. We got a bunch of lit up lines. Hit Saigon up directly and let them know what you think. All the citizens, hit them up, man. Let them know what you think of this conversation. Where can they reach you, Saigon? What's your social?
Oh, Saigon_NYC Instagram, or you can go to the Twitter at the Real Saigon. That's pretty much all the social media I use is Instagram and Twitter.
And this song features Chris Calico and his daughter Milan
and my 8-year-old daughter Milan Amore. This is my baby girl, and she has a gift. She has a knack for rapping, man. And I swear, like I've had an easier time in the studio with her than I've had with artists who've been doing it longer than she's been alive. And so I'm not sure if that's the path she wants to take, but if she wanted to be an entertainer like Heather, I want Heather to listen to this because Heather knows and Heather got the ear. So let me know what you think, man. Everybody says Promise Ring with Chris Calico and Milan Amore, my baby.
Okay. All right, and then we're going to come right back with political news and Mike Muse. Here it is, Saigon. Love you, Cy Giddy. Sway in the morning.
Love you, King. Rich.
Love, brother.
Tracy, Heather, love, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man.
Shade 4-5.